Bonjour, bienvenue à ma chaîne. Welcome to my channel, where I talk about all kinds of stuff, including gobbledygook, etc, etc, etc. So, saying is a great way to start a conversation, isn't it? No, that's not the point. So, as a British person, I am afraid to announce to you that, I said again. I'm afraid to announce that British people are no longer allowed to have an opinion on any speech or freedom of speech, nor are they allowed to use the terminology or the law called Magna Carta. I mean, we don't have the First Amendment, but we're no longer allowed to express ourselves because that is far too provocative, according to Herr Starmer. I had to refrain from saying something very naughty just then. Very, very naughty. Yeah, I probably sound like I've got some pompous accent or something. I mean, like, that's what happens when you live in southern England. You sort of pick up the lingo, which is a bit pompous, and you sound like a horse, and you just sound irrationally posh for no reason. And I am speaking like a horse, and the Queen's English, sticking up my pinky finger at everything. Yeah, I mean, it is a whole load of codswallop. It really is. Honestly, because, like, where I'm from, we just speak like a bunch of farmers, and on one side of my family, we're French, but we're from, like, the most rednecky area of France, which is, yeah, they speak like rednecks, you know? I don't know, like, kind of like, they're all into certain rights, and, if I had to make a comparison, then, like, the Bloods rather than the Crips, you know? Crips are blue, Bloods are red. As simple as. So, yeah, I grew up in a ghetto, a complete ghetto in the United Kingdom, where there were some famous riots that took place called the Bradford riots, and it's taken me over like 2 decades to admit this. So I was raised in the equivalent of Detroit. The equivalent of Detroit, I mean literally, economically, financially, etc. Everything. Detroit. So poverty levels extremely high, children be raised below the poverty line, extremely high, etc. And having my house almost burnt down in the late 1990s, about a year or two before a certain event called 7/11. I'm sure you can read in between the lines, right? Because I was not of a certain religion. I'm sure you can read in between the lines, right? So, do I have to, like, explain more? Sprechen Sie English? No. So, yeah, I don't have to, like, break it down any more than I can, because, like, everything is so censored. Because right now, the UK is at the same level as les Chinois en 2010, etc. You know, like 2009, 2010, 11, 12, 13, you know, like around that time area. So, you know, we got to do with a great Chinese firewall, but, you know, what else can I say? But as Bill Hicks would say, this is fake, by the way. Totally fake. This is a piece of paper. Did you get the receipt? The receipt, you know. Did you check the receipt? You know, when the war started. Because, c'est pratiquement... Mais bof, je peux pas parler français en ce moment. Mais c'est tout foutu. Vraiment. Tout foutu. Patati et patata. Non. I can't. This is sundown.